Hi, my name's Maureen and welcome to this video tutorial on Sous Vide in the Food Safety Hub. So Sous Vide is a process where food is basically cooked in a sealed bag, typically in a water bath, but it can also be done in ovens these days, but it's typically in a water bath. So to access the Sous Vide area, it's in the kitchen, so it's a workflow. So we initiate a new workflow. There's some food safety requirements around sous vide, namely time and temperature, but there's also the thickness of the product, which has a bearing on how long the product needs to be in the water bath to achieve a safe cook. So if we access the sous vide option under cook process, a couple of options will pop up. So this particular one, the first one is around what temperature you'd like to cook it at. So depending on what the product is and what type of product you are aiming to achieve, you select a temperature, and the product thickness also plays a bearing as to how long that needs to be in there for. Now, as you can see, what that's doing is calculating a time. In this case, it's time in hours, and this includes the core warming up and the cooking. So it's added those two times up because essentially that's the same process. So if we change those parameters to a higher temperature, for example, you'll notice that cooking time reduces. If we reduce the thickness of the product, that will also reduce the time, and conversely, if we go the other way, it'll increase it. So for this example, I'm going to put a thin product at quite a high temperature, let's say at 74 degrees. We then need to verify the water bath temperature, so that needs to be verified, so that should be equal to or quite close to what temperature has been nominated there. And then the product would go into the water bath, and we've got a timer that we can see has started there for the cook process. So we submit that, we place our product now in the water bath, and as you can see there's a timer that's there active on the Food Safety Hub, and a time required in minutes, so we can refer back to that whenever we need to. We can initiate as many of these simultaneously as we need to, so I could start another workflow and have those going consecutively. Otherwise, once we re-enter that workflow, I'll just select into that again, and what you'll notice is we're up to another step where I've got my product, the time required to cook that product with that thickness and water temperature is 5.6 minutes. At the moment we're up to just on a minute, so that's just proceeding there. Now as soon as that time reaches 5.6 minutes, we'll be presented with another option to continue the process. So that would mean the sous vide process was complete, so it's a safe cook. Typically we'd be cooking it for longer than the safe cook, but again it depends on what's being cooked and what type of cut it is. But importantly, it won't let us progress until that 5.6 minutes has passed, which will demonstrate a safe cook. So we'll return in 5.6 minutes. So you'll notice now, if we return to our sous vide monitoring, one we put on previously, that's now almost past its time. So you can see there what it's requiring is 5.6 minutes. So that's not 5 minutes and 6 seconds or 5 minutes and 60 seconds, it's 5.6 minutes. So when that time has passed, you'll notice that there'll be a further option that's enabled to complete the sous vide. So the system won't let us progress until we've achieved that minimum time at that temperature. So that's just a little control in there, so that we've got a high level of certainty and assurity around these records that are being submitted. So once the sous vide's complete, obviously it's typically still in the water bath at this time. We've got our further options where we can either chill it, if there's a lag phase we might need to go through as well, if it's used in service, or it's hot held. So there's some further options there as well as we go through it. So that's the sous vide process.